Listen, liberal. That's how it's supposed to be said. And the exclamation point is important because what we're talking about here and what I'm talking about in the book is a sort of massive wave of public anger that's out there in this country. And it's been brought on by the, I mean, let's be blunt about it, by the failure of the Democratic Party. And by the failure of these guys in a situation when the conditions for success were perfect. Okay? This is not, the book is not a, another collection of your standard Beltway gripes, complaints about gridlock in DC or how appalling it is that our country is so polarized. The failure that I'm referring to is bigger than things like that. With the exception of global warming and nuclear war, it's basically the greatest public problem that we've faced in our lifetimes. President Obama himself has said that inequality is the defining challenge of our time. And that's a pretty sweeping statement. But when you think about it, it's not anywhere near sweeping enough, right? Inequality, this word that we like to use, is a sort of shorthand for all the things that have gone in recent years to make the lives of the rich so much more delicious year over year for the last 3 or 4 decades, and also for the things that have made the lives of working people so, wretched and so precarious in that same period. Inequality is visible in the ever-rising cost of healthcare and college, in the coronation of Wall Street, and the slow blighting of wherever it is that you happen to live. You catch a glimpse of inequality every time you hear about someone who had to declare bankruptcy when their kid got sick, or when you read about the lobbying industry that dominates the city I live in, Washington, D.C., or the weird new political requirement we have that all of our candidates either be chosen for us by billionaires or else be billionaires themselves, right? So inequality is this kind of euphemism that we like to use for the Appalachification of the world we live in. Yeah, that's right. It's Harper's Magazine putting, so I can say that. Appalachification. So inequality is about, the way speculators and even criminals get a helping hand from Uncle Sam while the Vietnam vet down the street from you loses his house. Inequality is the reason that some people find such enormous significance in the ceiling height of an entrance foyer or the hop content of a beer, while others will never believe in anything again. Now, look, it's the Republicans, of course, who bear the primary responsibility for our modern plutocracy. And I've written book after book after book about these guys. This is the party that launched us on this era of tax cutting and wage suppressing that we live in. And they're the ones that made a religion of the market and fought so ferociously to open our politics to the influence of money at every level down in Washington. But I think that just blaming the Republicans and then getting back into the partisan war is not good enough any longer, okay? I think it's time that we understood that the things that I've been describing they represent a failure of the Democratic Party as well. Look, protecting the middle-class society used to be the Democrats' holy mission. And once upon a time, they would have taken a look at the situation that we're in today and rolled up their sleeves and tackled this situation with a certain amount of relish, right? Shared prosperity was once the party's highest aim, and defending the middle-class world that we lived in was a kind of sacred task for them, as they never tired of reminding us back in the days of Truman and LBJ and that kind of thing. And to this day, Democrats are the ones that pledge to raise the minimum wage and the taxes of the rich. But when it comes to tackling the defining challenge of our time, many of our modern Democratic leaders falter. And they acknowledge, yes, they always acknowledge that inequality is rampant and that it's an awful thing. But they can never seem to find the conviction or the imagination to do what's necessary to reverse it.